Hello, everyone. In this lecture, we'll learn how to trace patterns from images. This technique is particularly useful in several situations. First, when you want to digitize hand-sketched patterns. Second, when you have patterns created in Illustrator that you want to use in 3D. Third, when you want to photograph and recreate actual garment patterns from existing clothes. Fourth, when you need to use patterns found in books or magazines. And finally, when clients provide you with physical patterns that you need to convert into 3D models. Now let's look at the actual steps. First, prepare the image to import into Marvelous Designer. If you're working with hand-drawn or printed patterns, place the pattern on a flat, well-lit surface and photograph it from directly above, making sure the entire pattern fits in the frame. It's crucial to photograph from directly above because shooting at an angle will introduce perspective distortion, which warps the pattern. By photographing straight down, you'll capture the accurate shape and proportions, making your tracing much more precise. This is important. Before photographing, write at least one known measurement somewhere on the pattern. For example, the width across a specific section. We'll use this reference measurement to scale the image accurately in Marvelous Designer. Now we'll start working in Marvelous Designer. From the toolbar, select the Rectangle tool. Click once on the 2D view and enter 1000 millimeters for both width and height. Click OK to create a large square pattern. Now we'll create guidelines that will help us scale the image precisely. Look at the measurement you wrote on your pattern image. For example, let's say you wrote 200 millimeters on your pattern. We'll use this 200 millimeter measurement as our reference to scale the image correctly. Select the Add Point Split Line tool. Click on the line to create a point. Place it at a suitable position. Right-click on the line. From the dialog box, enter the dimension written on the image to create a second point. Next, we'll create a guideline from these points. Switch to the Edit Pattern tool and right-click on one of the points you just created. Select Add Perpendicular Internal Line, then choose Y-axis. This will create a vertical guideline through the point. Use this guideline as a reference to adjust the image size. Now we're ready to import the pattern image. Click on Graphic 2D Pattern in the toolbar. A file selection dialog will appear. Select the pattern image you photographed and prepared. Click anywhere on the square pattern in the 2D window to place the image. The placed image will likely be the wrong size. The tool has automatically switched to Transform Graphic. Click the image to display handles at its corners. Now comes the crucial part. Resize and position the image so that the measurement you marked on the pattern, those 200 millimeters, fits exactly between the two guidelines. You can drag the corner handles to resize the image while maintaining its proportions. When the marked measurement aligns perfectly with your guidelines, the entire image will be at the correct scale. Now trace the pattern while viewing the image. From the toolbar, select the Internal Polygon Line tool. Now you'll click along the edges of the pattern in the image to trace its outline. Click normally to create straight line segments between points. If you need to trace a curve, hold down the Control key while clicking. This will create curved lines that follow the contour of the pattern. If you need to switch from drawing curves back to straight lines, double-click to end the current line segment, then click where you want to start the next straight segment. When you've completed the entire outline, double-click on your starting point to close the shape. Make sure you trace the entire outer perimeter of the pattern creating a completely closed shape. This is crucial. All lines must connect properly with no gaps or overlaps. If the shape isn't closed, or if lines intersect incorrectly, Marvelous Designer won't be able to recognize it as a valid pattern. Now switch to the Trace tool and select all the lines you just drew. You can drag a selection box around them or hold Shift and click each line. Then right-click on the selected lines and choose Trace as a pattern. The area enclosed by your lines will be converted into an actual pattern piece. You can see the pattern generated in the 2D view. Since all patterns are only half, we'll unfold and duplicate them. Switch to Edit Pattern, right-click the center line, and select Unfold Symmetric Editing with Sewing to unfold the pattern to the opposite side. Set this for the front, back, and collar. Since only the left sleeve exists, switch to Transform Pattern, right-click, and select Symmetric Pattern with Sewing to create the right sleeve by flipping it. Place the traced patterns on the avatar and sew them together. Once you've positioned all the pattern pieces and sewn them together, press the spacebar to run the simulation. Watch as your traced pattern transforms from a flat image into a fully three-dimensional garment draped on the avatar. It's amazing to see your hand-drawn or photographed pattern come to life in 3D.